Friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about a topic, phased approach in project management. Friend, let me tell you that there are many approaches available in project management to implement a project. One out of which one is phased approach. What does that mean actually, phased approach? Friend, see, for example, if you have to implement a project, like for example you have to implement the Oracle ERP solution for a company. You have to implement a medical software solution for a company. You have to implement you can say the any banking solution for a particular bank. We can use this type of approach. Friend, this is approach we define that how we can manage a project. Okay, so this is a project for manage a project, that how we can proceed, how we can manage a project. This is called the phased approach. So we in this topic, in this tutorial, we will discuss this approach in detail. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well, so my latest videos can reach to you. So let's start. What is phased approach? Friend, project management means managing a project. Managing a project means that you have to see that how you can proceed further, how you can execute, how you can do the planning, execution, and closing the project. So this approach defines that how you can manage a project. Normally we use this approach if the size of a project is big, it is complex, and the risk factors are high. Normally we use this approach. uh, Friend, as a project manager, you have definitely heard that there are many techniques are also available, like Scrum, Agile, Kanban, etc. as well, but these techniques are different as compared to the phased approach. In this video we will keep our focus only on the phased approach in project management. So what is phased approach? Friend, phased approach means that it depends on the phases. What does that mean? First of all, just see this picture. The phased approach means that first of all, whenever we get a project, like you as a project manager, you receive a signed contract from the customer, from the senior management. For example, you have to implement the Oracle ERP solution for a customer. Okay, so this is a signed contract. So what you will do, scope is also decided. So what you will do, first of all, you have to analyze the things. Analyze means you will analyze the scope, you will analyze that what we have to do. In this level we do the high level analysis, also the detail as well. So in this analysis phase we do the detailed analysis, that what we have to do, what is the scope, how we will accomplish the things, what are the requirements. So it is a very detailed level analysis. For example, if you are implementing the Oracle ERP solution, so that means you have to meet with customer, hours of hour sessions you have to conduct and understand the requirement. Detailed analysis needs to be done here. If you are implementing any a banking solution, so you have to meet with customer, analyze the requirement. Detailed analysis is required in this phase. Then after that, you have to do the design phase. Design means after once you once you understand the requirements, then you do the design phase. Design means that the functional specifications, detailed technical specifications are defined here. That after once the analysis phase defined, you do the functional specification. Functional specification means that the specification, technical requirement, architecture, transaction flows, process flows, I mean, it has been defined here in this phase. So the output of a design phase is a functional specification document. Once the design phase completed, we will do the implementation phase. Phase means that in actual the developers assigned will do the development. means that, for example, if you have to implement the Oracle ERP solution, so in actual the developers start the development, they do the coding, they do the development, they create the modules. Once the implementation finished, so we will do the testing. Testing means two types of testing. First of one is QA, quality assurance, which will be done by the vendor, and the QA report will be generated. And second one is the UAT, user acceptance testing, which will be done by the customer, and the customer will have to create the UAT cases, and he has to provide the UAT sign off. After completion of testing, we will do the deployment. Okay, deployment means that at the production server, we will deploy the build, we will deploy the code at the deployment server or production server. All these phases previously we were doing on the test server. Okay, and the normally what is the procedure, that all the development will be done at the testing server, the testing will be done at the UAT server, and the production server will be used for the deployment for the production. Once the build or code has been deployed at the production server, after that the maintenance will start. Maintenance means the post monitoring. Post monitoring means that once the deployment has been done at the production, we have to see that all things are going fine, there is no issues, there is no problems, so all things are going well. If there is any issue, so we have to see the things here. Try to understand one thing, that once the deployment is done at production, for few days or few weeks the implementation team will involved in the maintenance, and once the system becomes stable, as per the SLA, the support team will involve. Okay, so this is called the whole approach of phased approach. Phased means, see, first we have to do the analysis, detailed analysis, then design, then implementation, then testing, then deployment, and then maintenance. So this is called the concept of phased approach. Okay, friend, this is a very common question in the if you are studying the software engineering or project management. This is a very common question you may see in the exam. If you are a student, you will definitely see, you may ask that what is the phased approach in project management. So friend, phased approach, this is called, in which we divide the work in the phases, and each output of one phase will be delivered to the another phase. Simply you can define like that. We phased approach means that we divide the work in phases. What are the phases? Analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. One more important thing here is that, remember one thing, that it is sequential, it is in sequence. It is we have to go in this sequence. Are you getting with my point? In this direction, from analysis to maintenance, we will go in this direction. It is not possible that we will go in the backward direction, like from deployment to testing and maintenance. It is not possible. It will always go in this direction: analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. No backward tracking and no backward we can, like for example, if we have completed the implementations phase, so it is not the right way that then we can again start the design phase. The this is not possible in the phased approach. Okay, so this is the phased approach, like analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Now friend, phased approach, normally called as waterfall as well. This is a very common name for phased approach. Waterfall, why we called as it as a waterfall? Because if you see this diagram and this diagram, you may see some similarities. Like here, the things are coming in one direction, from here to downwards. Similarly, if you see from here, it is also from top to bottom it is coming. So this approach is also called as waterfall as well. Waterfall is also a very common name for phased approach. Now most of the people say phased approach in project management as a waterfall. Why? Because if you see from here, it is, you can imagine, you can think of it of a waterfall, because things are coming from top to bottom and it cannot be go backward. So that's why it is called as waterfall approach. Okay, and remember one thing, that waterfall model means that if normally we use this approach when projects are bigger, factors are high, and high level or detail level of planning is required. So that's why normally we use the phased approach or waterfall approach in that cases. Remember one thing, that the risk factors are also very high in bigger project. So detail level of analysis and design is very important here. So these phases, analysis and design, are, you can say, the pillars of the waterfall approach. If these phases are correct, if these phases are properly managed, so there are high chances that your project can be finished successfully. So friends, that's all from my side. Hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and that's all from my side. Thank you, thanks a lot. That's all from my side.